submarine's huge. It's 100 metres long, it's 3 decks deep. There is no inch of the submarine that is similar to another inch of it. I would definitely put it in the same league as the space shuttle or projects of that size.
To my mind, this is a 7,000-ton Swiss watch. There's an extraordinary amount of expertise in putting one of these submarines together. There are stages when it's like blacksmithing, and there are stages when it's like brain surgery.
The team what I've got have been working together for over 20 odd years. I mean, we're used to a lot heavier. This is a baby.
I'll be fully qualified in September 2010, which is really daunting, being able to say I will be a qualified electrician.
I'm in charge of purchasing submarines for the Ministry of Defence, and it's my job to make sure that the programmes that we're hearing from the company are sensible and real, and we're getting value for money out of them.
This is number 1 sea gate, and at the moment she's laying down in the recess, and we're able to shut the gate and make this area non-tidal.
It's obviously quite a serious thing when a 380-ton gate is collapsed on the bottom. It's a big engineering challenge.
Without that gate in place, this submarine will not leave Barrow.
This is a key point for the Royal Navy, bringing a Astute out. If I get that wrong, I'm certainly aware of the amount of scrutiny that will be coming down on me.
Anthony, my son, he said, "What do you do, Daddy?" And he said, "I build submarines for the Queen."
It's a wet and windy weekend in the middle of November. And the first new British submarine to be built for 10 years is now preparing to sail out into the open sea for the very first time.
Is my cat badge in the middle?
Yes, perfect.
Because often it's around there, you know.
14 years in the making and costing over £1 billion, she is one of the most technologically advanced machines in the world.
She's a world-class submarine in her sensor technology, underwater and above water, the weapons that she can carry to sea that attack not only ships but the land targets. She's an awesome vessel.
Impressive as she is, her final exit into the open sea is not going to be an easy one.
Much of Britain has experienced the worst storms of the year, with strong winds and heavy rain causing flooding and damage across the country.
We have very strict criteria for making sure we have a safe exit.
And the rain only affects the visibility on the day. It's the wind that matters.
This is the story of how one of the world's most complicated machines is built, and the people that build it.
It's about 5 to 7 and I've got to work.
I've been in the Navy almost 30 years now, and I've spent probably literally about 15 years underwater in submarines.
It's the start of a typical working day for the people who build Britain's nuclear submarines.
There is a lot of people that I know that work in the yard. Obviously there's Jed, my husband. My sister-in-law works in there, my brother-in-law works in there, my brother works in there. I would say every family that I know, at least 1 or 2 people actually work in the yard.
Barrow-in-Furness is a town of 62,000 people on the edge of the English Lake District. The town has an amazing history of building submarines, launching its first in 1887.
It only takes me about 10 minutes, if that, to get to work.
and generations of the same families from all around the area still build them today.
I'm just swiping on. This is like electronic timekeeping, make sure we're in at the right time and not late.
The capability of our submarines is something that we want to keep to ourselves, because if other countries, other organisations know the capability of the units which we operate, then they can develop ways of defeating that capability. So that's why we're very careful about who comes on this site and also what information we're allowed to give as well.
The current owner of the shipyard is British defence company BAE Systems. The business employs over 35,000 people across the UK, with around 5,000 of them in Barrow alone. BAE Systems is not without its critics, but in this town, the company forms the very backbone of the local economy.
We have extraordinary numbers of people working here with all sorts of family relationships, and the business has a real family feel to it as well. We play a very vital part in the community. There's a lot of salaries and money goes back into the community through our shipyard.
Britain's need for submarines splits opinion. Some think they're critical for defence, others that they're a waste of taxpayers' money. But with a potential order book of 7 astute submarines, Barrow depends on them to prosper into the next decade and beyond.
This is the only site in the UK where we design, build, test and commission nuclear submarines for the Royal Navy.
Britain's current fleet of attack submarines are coming to the end of their working lives, and the Royal Navy are desperate to get their hands on this new class. One of the world's most technologically advanced machines, they pack weaponry, life support and all the sensitive equipment a submarine needs to operate, including a nuclear reactor that will power its engine for 25 years and never need refuelling. At almost £1 billion, this submarine doesn't come cheaply or quickly.
The submarines take years to manufacture, but what we do have on site here are 4 submarines in various stages of their build. The first one is afloat outside the Devonshire Dock Hall. The second submarine is behind me. The third submarine is just about whole. We've got a few more units to weld together. And the fourth submarine is at the moment in a series of units being outfitted. So you can look around the site here and see from first rolling the steel to actually operating the systems and preparing to go to sea.
Building 4 boats with a staggered production schedule, the range of skills needed on site is extraordinary. The people here are unique in not only what they do, but how they do it.
I'm just changing into my overalls. Definitely have to wear them, obviously, don't cut yourself or hurt yourself. But they're not very flattering, to say the least. I work on that boat, boat 2, ambush. This one closer to us is boat 3. We're going down there to the toolbox talk. Nige, team leader. Morning, Nige.
Erin Brown will be trained in the electrical systems of the submarine, and as one of only 300 electricians on the build, when she's qualified, she'll be part of a very elite and highly skilled club.
That was our toolbox talk. We have one every morning at 7:30, telling us any health and safety issues from the day before, any communications, basically keeping us in touch with what's going on around the yard.
The whole site covers 169 acres, making it Britain's biggest shipyard. And as a hub of high technology, nuclear submarines aren't just built in Barrow, they're designed here too.
The submarine is designed to operate in a very hostile environment, which is under the sea, at pressure. It's a salty environment, it wants to corrode, and at the same time it has to keep its crew of 97 crew safe for about a 3-month period without surfacing.